What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another exciting episode of Tesla Today. I'm Kevin in Colorado, and Tesla took one ugly dump today. Down over, 8.5%, fell $66, closed around $7.14 after hours, continue to fall to about $7.10. Remember, when it entered the S&P back in August, it was $695 was the closing price for the entry. So we're only $15 away from where Tesla first entered that S&P. And there's several things about why this is happening. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some catalysts for Tesla, both on the good and the bad side. We'll also have a couple of videos for you to watch. So let's jump into a video real quick.
I do think it's interesting that this is a really bad break here. You could say it's about interest rates. You could talk about competition. You could talk about Elon Musk and his little Dogecoin and Bitcoin fascination, and a lot of goofiness going on in and around all that sort of stuff. I just think we're at a point maybe where people are starting to look at just like, listen, if rates are going to be higher, some of these growthier sort of names that we're willing to give these really ridiculous premiums to, whether we should lighten up a little bit. So it just seems like there was a lot of narratives coming together in this one, and it makes sense to me that this one cools down a little bit. And I think you have room down towards $600 in the near term.
$600? I hope so, Dan. Now, hey, I like Dan. But he's never been a Tesla bull. He's never been a Tesla fan. I don't think he's ever had a position in Tesla itself. So a naysayer, doesn't really understand the stock, why it's there. Now, I do agree with him. As the 10-year note continues to rise, rates are going up. These high-flying stocks, such as Tesla, people are starting to cash out and take some of their monies and run, and doing the big reopening play, right? They're going to go back into the airlines and United, stay away, to Royal Caribbean, stay away. All these plays that you're seeing the cyclics go into now, away from the growth stocks, back into the reopening play. We saw this happen, 2 months ago? And they said, there's a new COVID, you guessed it, variant out. And you saw everybody start running away from the reopening plays as France locked down and start going back in the growth stocks. I would guess that we're going to see something similar to that in the future. But long term, I'm not worried about it. If Tesla, I hope, goes down to $600 a share, because I did keep some of that dry cash powder reserve that we talked about sitting on the sidelines with about $350,000 cash, and I will steadily buy into weakness. So I'm gonna actually modify my account. Today I told you about 66 more shares at 750. As Tesla continues to go down, if we're fortunate enough for it to happen, if it hits 700, I'll buy another 50 shares, and I'll start buying in 25 increments all the way down as low as she can possibly go. What a dream come true. To get Tesla this cheap is a buying opportunity that you're not going to see again. I've been there. I missed it during COVID, March 16th of 2020, when it bottomed out there at $335 a share pre-split. I missed the opportunity because I didn't have enough dry powder. Here's an opportunity for us to catch in on that buying opportunity. I'm very excited about it.
I'm glad you brought up the
Tesla.
A lot of chatter on the internet about when Elon Musk and Tesla took a Bitcoin stake or position. And I say position, not investment, Karen, because they don't benefit from this. Because basically, on paper, Bitcoin, their position has gone up $1 billion since they first announced this, but they don't benefit on the upside. Is that right?
Okay, on the very controversial Bitcoin investment, Tesla once again invested $1.5 billion with a B into Bitcoin. They did that a month ago at an average price around $33,000 per a share of Bitcoin. They have since made over $1 billion on that investment. They haven't sold it, so it's just a paper gain. But what she's trying to say is, if they lose money during the end of a quarter, even on paper, if their initial investment in Bitcoin is lower than where they started at, they have to claim that and disclose that in the quarterly earnings. If they're up, they don't get to take that as part of the earnings per share until they actually liquidate or sell that asset to lock in that profit. Long term, we all know Bitcoin is going to be part of the future. Tesla's made a huge investment, and they're going to continue to make billions of dollars off their Bitcoin investment going forward. And here's the real reason why Tesla stock went down today. It was the order flow. We had 5,134 sell orders and only 4,353 buy orders. More sell orders than buy orders, stock goes down. That simple, folks. You remember the video I did with the Kathy Woods video? that I did when she said, hey, make sure that you hold some cash reserve. That's for today. Today is a buying opportunity. Getting Tesla close to $700 a share is amazing. If you go down further, buy into weakness, accumulate the Tesla shares. You're going to be thanking me a year from now. And yes, I did buy on today's weakness. I bought 66 shares of Tesla at $750 a share. Of course, that's why it fell another $40 a share after that. But that's okay, because I think Tesla at $750 is a bargain. Getting anything under that's even a bigger bargain. I have no doubts in my mind. If you see the other video, my other video, it talks about Tesla stock split before Christmas of 2022. A 5-for-1 split. If I told you for a fact today, which I don't know, but if I told you today, hey, buy Tesla is going to do a 5-for-1 split by Christmas of 2022, would you have bought today? The answer should be yes, a resounding yes. The last video I have for you today is from Todd Gordon with Trading Nation. Now, hey, it's about 5 minutes in length and a little technical, but it's really important for you to hear from the subject matter expert and what he thinks about Tesla and why he still believes.
We are going to take a look at Tesla. It's a core holding in my portfolio. I'd actually like to add to it here on a little bit of weakness that we've seen in the broader market. Interesting interview yesterday with Kathy Hood, the founder of the ARK Innovation ETF, among others. Tesla is one of the largest holdings in her ETF, and I'm in agreement with her. So if you look at it from a fundamental point of view, it's massively overvalued. It's trading 187 times next year's earnings, current PE of about 1,200. So how can you make that case that you want to add to the position? I've been a Tesla bull for years now. I've argued the bull side of Tesla here on CNBC versus multiple fundamental analysts who are saying it's overvalued, but there's more to the story here. So first, let's take a look at the technicals, and then I'd like to discuss why I think there's such a massive valuation on Elon and Tesla. So let's take a look at the chart here. This is a long-term chart of Tesla going all the way back here to the beginning of 2020. So we have just over a year of data here. Just a simple bit of analysis here, guys. If you were to connect the low here with this little bit of weakness / consolidation here in November and December of 2020, and then we move up nicely into the new year. And you can see we're coming back for a third test of this support. So we've seen just a little bit of a double top here at 900 here. Let me throw an oval on top of that. 900 double top. Oh, you call it a triple top here. A little bit of weakness on the way down. We're not seeing a massive amount of volume on the downside. You'll actually see that volume sloping off here a little bit. So the selling interest is waning here. So you can see the selling interest is waning here on the volume. Nowhere near the volume that you saw when the stock was moving up. So that's a bullish technical development. I hold about a 1.5% position in Tesla, and I would like to add the other half. But I want to take this time to discuss the fundamentals of why I like Tesla so much. So the story is not just Tesla. It's this other company that Elon is actively pursuing, and that is SpaceX. They just raised about $850 million at a $74 billion valuation. They're looking to go public at some point. And what they do is they're sending satellites into lower Earth orbit, LEO, to provide global internet coverage. Okay. Now, what that means is it's a satellite-based broadband internet service. It's going to be basically blanket the globe in the satellites that will provide high-speed internet around the world. As of last month, I think they have about 1,035 satellites in orbit, with plans for 12,000 to be launched. And the FCC has permission for about 42,000 satellites up there. So the transfer speeds of these are much faster than traditional internet connections, and that allows remote parts of the world to gain uninterrupted high-speed global internet connectivity. So you got to think, like, why would an autonomous electronic vehicle, or aspiring to be an autonomous driving electronic vehicle company, be pursuing high-speed global satellite internet coverage? For me, I think it's just a no-brainer. I think it's very clear what Elon is doing. Connected vehicle technology is going to allow those vehicles to really close this gap with autonomous driving. So if they're able to talk to their fleet of Tesla vehicles on the ground, whether they're for personal transportation or if they're for ride sharing, some kind of taxi service, they're going to allow the vehicles to communicate with each other. They're going to be connected to the cloud for software updates. You're going to get traffic accidents guidance. And most importantly, those Tesla vehicles will be connected to the AI processors back in the home base, wherever that may be. And that's going to support autonomous driving. And the argument is 5G is going to be the solution to that, which, high speed or 5G is unbelievably quick. In the urban areas, but it lacks physical reach and it doesn't have widespread coverage. So that's going to create a lot of gaps in coverage. And for a true autonomous experience, you're going to need that global satellite coverage. So I don't think Elon has spoken publicly about this, but for me, the link between the two makes total sense. And if Elon can control global satellite, along with the first mover advantage of electronic vehicles, I think it's game over. And I think that's why it's trading with a 1200 PE. And I just think a lot of people are missing that. And I've said this multiple times with CNBC, but I think the market is also regretting not pricing a guy like Jeff Bezos properly, a visionary like Jeff Bezos when he was selling CDs and books and DVDs on Amazon.com. So I don't think the market wants to make that mistake again. So, Porsche just made an announcement that they're moving into the space. That vehicle, from what I've done on the research, it starts at $100,000. So it's got a different target market. So I like Tesla. I think the Space Link and SpaceX ventures are going to basically close the deal with Tesla winning the autonomous vehicle competition, and I continue to hold.
And don't forget to sign with Webull and get your 2 free stocks. You can see it in the show notes below. Thanks for subscribing. That'll be a wrap for today. You've been watching Tesla Today.